Hi everyone, this is audap, and let's continue our game of Anonymous Code running on Nintendo Switch. I didn't know how much she meant by a bit. 10 minutes passed as I tried to figure it out, and we were now in a park. We were at Nakano Shikinomaru Park, otherwise known as the Central Park. It was one of the local hangout spots.
Pollon? You really trust Cross, don't you?
Huh?
Her question was so sudden I didn't know how to react.
When you were talking just now, I could sense how much you trust him.
Well, we've only known each other for about a year, but yeah, he's already my ride or die. I keep calling Nakano Symphonies a team, but it's actually just me and him.
How did you team up? Why are you so close?
Momo was talking more than before. It felt like this was actually lifting her spirit somehow, which made me kind of happy.
We met through this incident that happened.
An incident?
Yeah.
I felt like Cross himself had to be here for this conversation, so I called him with my BMI.
We're talking about our past. Help me out.
All right.
After my dad died, I started taking jobs from Symphony's owner, and soon enough I was hacking for a living. The incident wasn't long after that.
A local guy asked me to look into the company he was working for. The company developed AI-run disaster prevention systems as part of the city's automation initiative, but their systems were real sketchy. My job was to hack into the company network and investigate the systems. Nothing out of the ordinary, a piece of cake for hackers. The problem was that the person who set up that company's security was a hacker known as Crow.
Is he famous?
Yeah, I was a real newbie back then, but even I'd heard of him. He was a well-known hacker from Nakano who took jobs from anyone. He took plenty of work from shady groups. And I heard that if he snapped, he went completely out of control. A bunch of people told me to drop that job, but I was determined. I'm the type of guy who always helps people in need.
Nice enthusiasm, but you couldn't actually do the job, could you? You didn't have the skills to breach the network's security.
It's not that I couldn't, I just chose not to. I changed my strategy and went directly into the offices. I got the AI disaster prevention system source code, and it was as jank as I expected. Real sloppy. This meant the systems of other companies participating in the project would get dragged down too. So I figured I'd use all this as evidence to get the city to pull the plug on the project. But before I could do that, a certain someone stopped me.
Wait. I know that you're the intruder. You tried hacking into the network yesterday, didn't you? You did a poor job hiding your trail. In fact, you hid it so poorly it's almost like you wanted to be found.
You're Crow!
Crow's real name was Cross Yumakawa. Excuse me. It was Cross from before we teamed up, back when he was a brooding edgelord.
If you don't want me to call the police, delete the source code right now.
Do you have any idea how many people will be in danger if this gets released? You're a skilled hacker, there's no way you don't know.
My client's affairs are none of my concern.
What? And that was our first encounter. Pollon and Cross, the fated rivals.
Rivals? You think you were a match for me?
Hey, I got out of the building, didn't I?
Followed by me beating you to the ground and making you delete the source code.
Oh!
You beat Pollon up?
Yeah. I mean, he was actively engaging in trespassing and theft.
Here's the most important thing, though, Momo. I was able to see through Cross. I realized he was actually a good guy. You know how? It's because instead of reporting me to the police right away, he just told me to delete the code. That's why I invited Crow to Tokyo's government offices.
Why there?
Since I couldn't get the disaster prevention system's code, I changed my target. My new goal was to stop the project itself. I wasn't good enough to hack into government systems at the time, though.
So you asked for help from the guy who beat you up. Hell of an idea.
Hey, you accepted the invite, didn't you? I knew you would.
I only showed up to tell you not to mess with my client's partners.
But you helped me out.
In the end, yeah. I kinda respected you for sneaking in there all by yourself, even though you knew you were gonna blow it. It was so brave, it was reckless.
No, it wasn't.
My man, security was on you in seconds. You were completely cornered.
Well, I guess. Thanks for bailing me out of that one. Anyways, working together, we got our hands on that project's shitty plans. We leaked the plans online, and the Tokyo government got slammed. After that, we revised the whole project.
Looking back, that job was real dicey. You could have been caught and arrested at any moment.
All's well that ends well, partner. That gig was the whole catalyst for us teaming up, wasn't it?
And because I wanted to clear my name.
You did?
I couldn't find a way to shake the reputation I gained as Crow, as much as I hated it. I figured I could right that wrong if I teamed up with a guy who was ready and willing to do stupid stuff in the name of justice.
And that's how Nakano Symphonies was born. And ever since, we've been using our own brand of justice to help people in need.
What a wonderful bond. Thank you so much for sharing that with me.
Momo's tone had changed. I figured that was a good sign. But right then, she made a face like her chest was in pain.
There's something you... No. Something everyone should hear.
I could tell she'd used her BMI to start a call. She must have had something to say to us. She let out a sigh. She prepared to say something, clearly hesitant. She struggled for a while before finally opening her mouth.
My associates were murdered. They were killed by agents. Back at the Vatican.
The words were so unexpected they just about winded me. I heard Cross and Wind gasp too.
It happened shortly before I came to Japan. I wanted to save the world, and they offered to help. They belonged to the anti-Fate faction. The people who opposed the end, according to the Fate line. Though I was with them for just a few days, we shared an ideal. They were truly wonderful people. If only I hadn't relied on them to get me to Japan.
I'd only met Momo 3 days ago. I didn't know when she'd come to Japan, but it couldn't have been more than a day or two before we met. That meant that it hadn't even been a week since she'd lost her buddies. Was that why she suddenly started crying back at the park?
Those Holy Office agents killed them all?
At least 6 of them. They died in front of me. And there's no way for me to know if the other 3 survived.
Her voice was shaking.
I couldn't stop thinking whether it's really okay for me to be with all of you. Ever since I heard that co-pilot's message, it's been troubling me.
We'll protect you, and we can protect ourselves too. There's nothing you gotta worry about.
I believe that from the bottom of my heart. Momo didn't seem to agree, though.
That wasn't the first time I lost someone. I've lost so many people. I'm responsible for their deaths. And each time I was filled with sadness and pain. I couldn't bear it.
Momo.
I can't help but think that I'm cursed.
There's no such thing as a curse. Even if there were, I wouldn't give a damn.
Momo looked right at me. There was no hope in her eyes.
Still, I don't want you to get involved any further. From now on, I'll be on my own.
You think I'm gonna leave you high and dry after hearing all that? It's too...
Hold on. You're pressuring her.
Cross cut me off. But
I want to help you, Momo.
I had let myself take advantage of those words. I had no one left to rely on. I couldn't stand being alone. But it's time to end this.
There was no uncertainty in Momo's expression. She was totally determined. Nothing I could say would change her mind.
All right. Go. But we'll keep chasing Cicada. Take on his quests. So if you ever change your mind, come back to us anytime.
She didn't respond.
Pollon, Wind. Thank you for everything.
With heartfelt gratitude, she bowed, then walked away from me.
She's gone. Let me listen.
Pollon, you did well there, letting her go.
Bro, no way I'd bitch and moan like some kid. We're not doing it.
Oh.
I see. I'm proud of you.
Actually, I'd impressed myself by seeing her off the way I did. If Cross had said anything, I might have caused a scene.
Hang in there, Momo. We're not doing it.
I stood at the park alone. I had to cool my head after hearing all that.
Search for Lucia. No. Momo Izaki.
With the guy QDC spherical monitor open beneath him, Asuma Soga delivered a command. The next moment, the QCDC's quanta began operating at unimaginable speeds. The Earth Gaia simulated was about as detailed as reality itself. Examining every inch of it necessitated an overwhelming amount of work. And yet, the supercomputer could do so in mere seconds.
Momo Izaki was not found within Gaia.
And Pollon Takaoka?
Found within Gaia.
Nakano Symphonies.
Found within Gaia.
Asuma fell silent. He spoke again after thinking for a moment.
Cicada 3301's quests.
Not found within Gaia.
Asuma's eyes lit up. This was what he'd been looking for.
There's the lead I need to figure out her true identity. I don't know if it's just a Gaia error or a distortion in the real world. But I'm going to find out.
Two days had passed since Momo decided to go it alone. We'd done some research into Cicada's IP address, but couldn't find anything useful. Cicada himself was still silent, and no new quests had been posted yet. On account of being flooded with spam, Nakano Symphonies was on a temporary break too. Had absolutely nothing to do. That's why I decided to look into a few things.
There you are. That high hack thing sure made you famous, huh?
I don't plan to stay a hacker. I'm gonna be a hero who helps people in need. All this was just the first step towards that.
Parts of this sucked though, like not being able to go back home because I'd been doxxed.
The girl's not with you this time.
Nice observation.
I considered telling him that she'd left, but didn't see the point, so I kept that to myself.
So, you got any new info for me? Anything about the Vatican?
If I tell you, you better tell me something in return. And no stupid jokes about saving and loading the world or whatever.
Oh, I'll tell you.
I tell him that my world saving and loading was no joke. I hadn't had the chance to explain it in depth, so this was a good opportunity to level with him. Maybe he'd actually know something about it.
Remember how you told me that the army were trying to deliver the girl to the Vatican? I know the deal.
I know the deal there.
That special plane parked at Haneda was visited by the Chief Cabinet Secretary, the Minister of Defense, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. It's looking like the Vatican demanded that the Japanese government hand her over. The SFG were just carrying out orders. There's no direct connection between the girl and the Gaia institution.
Oh, I see.
All the different factions showing up had me kind of confused, but it looks like the only ones after Momo were the Vatican.
Couldn't find out why they wanted her, though. If the little lady wasn't lying, I guess it's something to do with the end of the world.
Ever heard of the Holy Office 513?
The Holy... who?
It's a group that doesn't officially exist, but
I told him everything Momo had explained.
A secret organization that controls the Vatican from the shadows, huh? There are a load of conspiracies about that place, so this one might just have some truth to it. I guess the 513 refers to the first day.
you know what the numbers mean?
If we're talking about a group that worships Fatima's secrets, 513 has got to point to May 13th, the first day Our Lady of Fatima appeared.
I hadn't given a second thought up to the date, but he was right. When it came to this kind of stuff, Oz really knew his shit, huh?
Did the girl say anything about the Mariophony?
Mariophony? What's that?
It's what some people call the periods in the 19th and 20th centuries, when there were lots of Marian apparitions reported. I figured there might be some kind of special meaning there, but if your reaction's anything to go by, I guess not.
You should ask Momo about it. Anyways, about the agents. If they came to Japan, would you know about it?
Doubt it. Pros like that have lots of ways to hide themselves. For all we know, they're already here. I can tell you if I notice anything weird here in Japan, but keeping the girl safe, that's gonna be on you.
Oz, I'm hungry. Take me out to eat.
The office door opened up and Nono walked in, accompanied by a woman in a white shirt.
I got a guest. We'll go out later.
I mean, the jacket is white. Her shirt is not white, but okay.
Is that... Polly? Polly's here!
Nono activated her very easy, then jumped onto its left wheel arm before rolling rapidly towards me. A moment later, she leapt through the air at me. and headbutted me right in the solar plexus.
I haven't seen you in so long! I was so lonely!
Was it really that long?
I was pretty sure it was only a few days had passed since we'd last seen each other.
Pollon Takaoka! I didn't think I'd be seeing you this soon.
The woman in white was right next to me before I knew it. She was jumping for joy with a massive grin on her face.
Who are you?
My name's Liddy Kumar. I'm a mathematician.
Huh?
For an intellectual, she sure dressed with panache. I checked her profile to confirm, and sure enough, she was a mathematician.
Polly, you don't know Liddy Bear? She's got 10 million followers online!
Whoa!
She also modeled for a webzine.
Seriously?
And she debuted as a singer.
What?
A mathematician influencer?
What do you need an online presence for?
My goal's to share the wonders of mathematics with the world. Think of me as a math evangelist.
I thought that the only type of people Oz knew were bureaucrats and officers and formal types like that, but this lady seemed pretty chill.
But why does such a famous mathematician know me?
I have a mathematic interest in all this. The codes, the events of the quest, and of course, the process by which you completed it.
She came all the way to Japan to conduct research on you.
The odds of completing the Hi-Hat quest were astronomically low. There must be a reason you were the one who pulled it off. And I took an extended break to find out what that reason is.
A reason?
I doubt you'd believe me, even if I told you. Oz sure didn't. That's how crazy it is. I mean, I can't really say it's my own doing.
Please tell me. I'd love to analyze your methods mathematically.
Are you gonna publish them or something?
Only with your permission. I'm doing this purely to sate my intellectual curiosity. I'm not on the job or anything.
Liddy's trustworthy. I can vouch for her.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Cautious, aren't you? I can see why Kaoru thinks so highly of you. How long have you known him?
Who's that?
Kaoru Sumezu, chief of the CCO.
That meant he was the CPD's boss, right? I kind of remembered him indirectly helping me out with the high hack.
Wait, so you know people in the police too? Who are you, really?
You sure like to ask questions. I think it's about time to give you a little math quiz.
Huh?
Oz and Nono sighed.
There she goes again.
You can do it, Polly! I know you can!
Huh? A math quiz? What?
Suddenly, an AR projection appeared in front of me.
There are 3 doors, and one of them has a prize behind it. Which will you open? Oh, sorry, was I unclear? There are 3...
I heard you just fine. It's just so out of nowhere that you kind of lost me. What does math have to do with it, though? All I can do is guess, right?
For now, yes.
So she wanted me to pick one first, huh?
All right, the middle one.
Okay, now I'll open one of the other doors. And just so you're aware, I do know which is correct. And I'll be opening an incorrect door.
Yeah, nah, bye-bye.
This leaves only 2 doors. Now I'm giving you a chance to change your choice. Do you think you'll have a higher chance of winning the prize if you change your door or stand by your choice?
Oh, so this is where the math came in.
I'm not changing my choice. The chance is the same either way.
So you're satisfied with your answer?
Yeah, because I know I'm right.
Unfortunately, no, you're not.
I won't. What the hell?
This is the Monty Hall problem. Changing your choice actually increases your odds of winning.
You're shitting me.
I wanted to refute it, but the internet said the exact same thing.
I don't think we need it.
Well, math is quite fantastic, don't you think?
Honestly, this was kind of frustrating. I didn't really know the specifics of her relationship with the police either. To be honest, I was considering it. Redoing a quiz when you know the right answer seems kind of uncool. But if you're going to be my partner in crime, then sure, I'll do it. That's the whole point of having the power.
There are 3 doors, and one of them has a prize behind it. Which will you open?
The middle one.
Okay, now I'll open one of the other doors. And just so you're aware, I do know which is correct. And I'll be opening an incorrect door. This leaves only 2 doors. Now I'm giving you a chance to change your choice. Do you think you'll have a higher chance of winning the prize if you change your door or stand by your choice?
I'm changing my choice to the one on the right. That increases my chances of winning.
Correct. Well done.
Wow! You did it!
Yeah, it was worth loading just to change my answer.
Did you already know about this, perhaps?
Maybe. Now tell me why you have ties to the police.
Of course. Though it's more that I have ties to Kaoru.
Just the chief, huh?
I guess you could say we're comrades in arms.
An officer and a mathematician?
And a detective.
She threw a glance at Oz.
We met in the summer of 2031 in California. Back then I was still a college student. And the prime suspect in the Serenius incident.
What was that?
An act of terrorism against the US government.
For real?
I looked to Oz, but he didn't deny it. She wasn't joking.
I was innocent, of course, so I tried proving it. Kaoru and Tengen helped me do that.
And that's why you're comrades in arms, huh?
Back then, Kaoru was a miserable student who'd been scammed out of every asset. I'd helped him out with that, so he offered to assist my work. And this Serenius incident motivated him to join the police.
So you don't work together?
Unfortunately, no. Our relationship is strictly private.
I see.
It sure wasn't what I expected, but it was still interesting.
Then we get back to the matter at hand.
What was it again?
It's your turn to talk. When you were chased by the army, you knew I'd be going there, didn't you? How long were you watching me?
Oh, that.
The math quiz had thrown me for a loop, so I spent a moment to recover and began talking.
I wasn't watching you. I loaded the world.
Hey, I told you to quit with those jokes.
Oh, I'm not joking. Hear me out.
I explained it all step by step. I told them how the first time I noticed the app was at the airport. I said I had no idea what it was, but I tried loading and reset the world.
I knew you'd come because I'd seen it happen once before. I escaped the SFG and completed a quest. That's 2 impossible things I actually pulled off. Come on, you know I'm telling the truth. I'll even show you the screen that appears.
I capped the load screen and sent it to Oz's device.
If this is real, who sent you the app?
Some super hacker out there.
What?
They put this app in my BMI without leaving a single trace. How else can I explain it?
You don't even know their name?
No, but, well, for now, I think I'm gonna call them Anonymous, or just Anon. I can activate the app just by thinking about it, but sometimes Anon brings it up for me. It's like they're saying, load now.
You're getting support from some mysterious hacker? So that's how you completed the quest.
Yeah.
The app designer must be on the level of Cicada or Juno. What manner of methods could they be using?
She was so excited it was kind of scary. Oz was strangely silent, though.
What you've just told me reminds me of this guy. Went by the name John Titor.
Oh, John Titor. Okay, we're tying back to Steins Gate.
John Titor.
I ran a search and instantly found something.
Huh? It's just some urban legend.
Apparently, he was a time traveler that appeared in the year 2000.
As far as stories like this went, his was pretty convincing. If his theory's right, you must be moving between world lines.
World lines? What are those?
Parallel worlds, basically. Changing the past would create problems like the grandfather paradox. But everything works out somehow when world lines are involved.
The concept of parallel universes doesn't apply to the world line as I know it. It exists as one world amidst endless possibilities. You don't move between world lines. The world line simply transforms. In essence, the entire world is reconstructed. Everything from the past to the future is rewritten. Our memories are no exception.
You're both making it sound kind of complicated, but you're basically talking about what-if worlds, right? There are infinite what-ifs, and changing the past creates a world spun off of a what-if. Is that it?
Yes, but there's a limit to these what-ifs. World lines do change slightly, but major events like people's deaths can't easily be prevented. Most events fit within the expected range. It's kinda like fate.
That made it sound kind of like that fate line thing Momo had mentioned.
Are you really a mathematician? This isn't your field of expertise, right?
I'm just saying what my friend told me. Her name's Kurisu Makise. She's a brain scientist. I'm sure you've at least heard of her.
Oh, again, from Steins Gate. I searched her, and seeing AI in the results reminded me I'd seen the name in some article. It was about her Amadeus system project.
Hey, do you have the divergence meter I brought last time? I want to show it to him.
It's on top of that shelf. No. Can you get it for me?
Oh, wow, they're leaning heavy into Steins Gate.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
No extended her machine arm and retrieved a weird-looking gadget.
Huh, pretty cool.
I liked how it displayed was a mix of both analog and digital.
The reading's strange. It's supposed to show a numerical value representing the world line we're in.
Is it broken?
I didn't do it.
I'll have to talk to Kurisu about it. Normally, this whole part would show numbers, and they'd change if you altered the past with your app. It's hard to escape convergence, though, so I imagine the only numbers that would change would be the ones at the end. Oh, but apparently you need a special talent to notice the change, so I doubt we'd even be able to tell.
World lines, huh? I didn't know if they had anything to do with my loading, but it sounded interesting.
John Titor used a time machine in 2036, so it wouldn't be too nuts if you had secretly had one too.
Enough about urban legends. You read too much moo-moo.
One of the shelves was neatly packed with Moo mags printed on actual paper. This must have been why he had no trouble believing Momo.
Got any ideas besides time travel?
Well, do you know the delayed choice experiment?
No. What's it about?
Quantum physics, specifically the double slit experiment. It's used to explain certain physical phenomena on the quantum scale. Let's begin with a standard double-slit experiment. It's an oldie from 1961, but it's timeless. First, imagine the world we live in. The world of classical physics. Let's say there's a board with 2 parallel slits. If you throw balls at it one by one, what kind of marks do you think will be left on a board placed behind it?
There'll be marks that correspond to the slits, right?
Correct. Now, what if we use waves instead of balls? These similar but displaced waves interfere with one another, canceling each other out and overlapping, creating an interference, or moire, pattern. Let's switch over to the quantum world next. Instead of balls, we'll be using electrons.
A gun?
An electron gun. Scientists created it so they could fire electrons one at a time. Go ahead, try it. We need more than a single shot. Keep firing!
Huh? It's not the same as with the balls.
Strange, isn't it? That's what you'd expect from the shape.
It's got a pattern like the waves. If that's the case, what interfered with him?
Good question. Scientists at the time wondered the same thing. So they placed a special detector before the board to observe how the electrons pass through the slits.
What's going on? It's not an interference pattern anymore. They're marks like the balls left.
Fascinating, huh?
Was the detector emitting radio waves or something?
Wouldn't we see an interference pattern in that case?
Oh, yeah. But then, what else could affect the outcome? Was it our observation that did it?
You nailed it! The very act of observing changed the behavior of the electrons. This experiment shows that electrons have a wave-particle duality, and that observation affects the way they behave.
It's like saying electrons got intelligence.
Now that would be interesting. All right, let's get on with our main topic. The delayed choice experiment. So there was the scientist who started thinking one day. What would happen if you observed this experiment somewhere in the middle? He decided to place a detector behind the slits to test it out. Pollon, can you fire some more electrons?
If the detector is off, the electrons behave like waves. Then what if we activate the detector as soon as the waves pass through the slits?
They changed to particles.
It appears so, but in actuality, these electrons are considered to have been fired as particles.
Huh?
If they changed from waves to particles, we should see some marks outside of the slit areas, right? But that didn't happen. Once they were observed, the electrons behaved as if they were particles from the start. In other words, history was rewritten.
Holy shit! That's crazy! So, for the observed result to make sense, the past got changed?
Yes! The past changes the future, but here the future changed the past. This is a quantum level experiment, of course, but our world is governed by quantum mechanics. I wouldn't say it's totally irrelevant. It could potentially lead to influencing the past without a time machine. Well, pretty cool, isn't it?
You think my app works kinda like that?
It's possible. That's all I can say. There's no shortage of such oddities. Quantum entanglement and relativity are some others that come to mind.
It's kinda disturbing.
I felt like everything I knew was crumbling apart. I had no idea the world was so weird.
This universe is a 13.8 billion year old mass of miracles. Mankind's only been around 5 million years. No way we can make sense of it all.
Well, you're not wrong, I guess.
Hey, civilization's only been around for about 10,000 years, so I'd say we're doing pretty good. We even have Earth simulators.
The whole idea of recreating the Earth is pure human hubris. Life ain't that simple a thing.
Oh, come on now, Tengen. Would it kill you to give mankind some kudos once in a while?
Shut up.
We talked some more, and although I heard some wild shit, our chat didn't turn out very productive. I guess it was because it was a holiday, but there were a bunch of families and couples out enjoying themselves. Seeing the smiles on their faces, I felt at peace somehow. A few days had passed since I left Nakano Symphonies. I'd been worried about where to hide out, but surprisingly there was no shortage of places I could stay. The city had some unmanned hotels without any employees, so I was able to get by just fine staying at those. It was strange seeing machines doing the laundry and cleaning up, but I was spared from any suspicion. It was actually pretty comfortable. But I had no luck with the most pressing issue, the search for Cicada 3301. I didn't have much on him to begin with, and the quests were my only lead, so I wasn't really expecting to get anywhere. That was why I...
Momo! Sorry for the wait.
asked the police for help.
Sorry for troubling you like this, Miss Kuroshina. Don't worry, it's fine. I'm the one who said to get in touch if you need me. Oh, and you can call me Bombi. Okay. Miss Bump. You don't have to be so formal, Momo. And just so you know, I changed because it'd be weird to attend a secret meeting in my uniform. I'm dressed for leisure, but I still mean business. You give off a different impression looking like that. Yeah. Kinda childish, right? Maybe it's weird to bring this up all of a sudden, but... I spent years trying to be an idol, but I never got past the auditions. I don't think I had the style I needed to attract a lot of fans, so... I'm not too confident about the way I look. That's ancient history, though. I guess I'm kind of an idol now anyway. I mean, I'm doing idol things. I see. So that's your story. Oh, but I'm serious about my job as a police officer. I've wanted to be one ever since I gave up on becoming an idol. I think you're very cool, Miss Bombi. I can tell that you're very serious about your work. Thanks. Oh, by the way. Yes? Where did you buy your clothes? They're really cute, Momo. I bought them somewhere Pollon took me, and... Oh, Is he your boyfriend? I'm on my own now. What? I see. Well, he did seem like the insensitive type. Oh? But Pollon was truly kind to me.
Huh? I'm so confused.
Can we move on?
Oh, right! Let's.
Miss Bobby came closer, probably to make sure no one heard us.
Have you learned anything about Cicada?
I'll be honest. We got nothing. A bunch of us at the CCO tried looking into him, but there was nothing about the guy in our database. Rico figured he'd erased all traces of himself, since someone who hacked the Vatican probably has a criminal record. We asked offices across the country to check local birth records, but there was no trace of him. Digital and paper records were all blank. Either someone scrubbed the records, or he was born in a different country.
I see.
So even after pulling some strings so they could check the paper records, the police had gotten the same results as Nakano and Symphonies.
I suppose the only way to reach Cicada is through quests.
That's too risky. If you do that, the people hunting you are gonna find you. We'll take you into custody. You don't have to put yourself in harm's way.
I can't let you look after me.
Oh, that's what you said last time. Why are you trying so hard?
Because this is my mission.
You can't just leave it to me, or someone else.
I'm sorry.
There was no way I could leave it to someone else. Everyone wanted me to complete my mission.
Take this, then.
She handed me a nylon pouch with 3 folded up devices inside.
What are these?
Delta stunners.
Stunners?
They're awesome. You can knock out even the beefiest hackers with these. Just set them up in the direction the perps are gonna run, then wait for them to get zapped when they turn tail.
So these emit an electric shock?
Yep. The shock's not lethal, but it can knock people out.
It's basically a stun gun the police procured for weaker officers.
The manual explains how to use them. They're prototypes, but I'm sure they'll come in handy.
Can I really keep these?
Of course. It's not like I snuck them out. The chief himself said I should give them to you. Well, we're gonna continue our cicada investigation, so let's keep in touch. We can meet here again another time. Go ahead and give me a call if you need any more help. The cybersecurity division is on your side, Momo.
Thank you.
A long time ago, we bore witness to a miracle. A true miracle.
Wow! I can't believe we were chosen by Mother Mary herself! We're going to save the world? Yes! She said, please take it upon yourselves to save the world. But I can't. I'm no good at anything. Jacinta, we can do this if we work together. Together? Right, Francisco? Yeah, I think we can do this. Then I'll do my best too. Yeah!
As long as Francisco and Jacinta were with me, if the 3 of us were together, we could save the world. I believe that with all my heart.
Lucia, please give that nonsense about saving the world a rest. If you don't, they won't stop overworking themselves. They just can't stop praying to Our Lady. What they need right now is rest. If they don't rest, they'll...
Shortly afterwards, Francisco caught the disease that was going around and passed away. And then, Jacinta.
Lucia, I finally get to see you again. How are you feeling? I don't know. It hurts all the time. I see so many scary dreams. You'll be fine. You even made it through that surgery. I'm sure you'll be healthy again, and... I'm sorry. I couldn't keep my promise. Jacinta? Jacinta! Say something! Don't leave me! Live, Jacinta! Jacinta!
I felt like it was my fault. I told them that we had to save the world together and made them take on more than they could bear.
It's my fault. It's my fault there.
Overcome with pain and regret, I wept. And that's where my memories trailed off.
We will lose this war. However, do not fear. In the distant future, mankind will reach an inevitable metamorphosis, and humanity as we know it will cease to exist.
President Kennedy has been shot.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
As part of the ceremony to mark the remodeling of the Arecibo telescope, a radio message was broadcast into space.
Nostradamus said that the great king of terror will arrive. The world ends in 1999. This is nothing but the truth.
Breaking news! Lehman Brothers has declared bankruptcy. I repeat.
Look at this crowd. People have gathered from all over the world to witness the completion of the Sagrada Familia.
Due to recent circumstances, we have decided to cease development of the Earth simulator, Gaia.
I've been in line since 2 nights ago! Man, I just have to get a carrier note for myself!
Many believe that the SA-4D have gone haywire, but the details are unclear. Shinjuku, Akasaka, and Ochanomizu have been affected, but there are reports of other areas sustaining major damage.
The next thing I knew, I was in water. I was surrounded by a strange water in which I could breathe. This was probably the future. That notion must have come to me because I'd been dreaming for so long. Within the dream, I saw an age beyond that which I'd known and learned many things I couldn't have imagined. My body had also changed. I'd grown a bit since the time my memories faded out.
We've deviated from the fate line by increasing the world's entropy, and we have brought about the sad morning. The root cause was us taking the DNA data of the Fatima children from the Earth simulator and transplanting it into artificial brains. And now those brains have incarnated. This is clearly an emergency.
The man pointed at me. My DNA data, as recreated by their Earth simulator, had been transplanted into an artificial brain. And that brain obtained a body? But I retained all the memories of my past, so what was I?
I would like to see the recording again.
Restarting the recording.
A large monitor played a video. It showed this room with a red revolving light shining on it. Someone's crying was echoing throughout. 3 coffin-like devices were connected to the QCDC necropilgrimage. A man ran up to one of them and opened it.
What's going on?
No. Why? Why was this happening again? Inside the device were Francisco's remains and...
No pulse. This one's dead too.
The other device contained those of Jacinta.
Why are there bodies in here?
Hey! This one's alive! She's the one that was crying. Help me get her out of here.
It was my fault. They had died again because of me. I must have been cursed. Why else would those closest to me die twice?
The remains of Francisco and Jacinta look like as if they're from a 3D printer.
Indeed. Even the slightest mistakes during output create such strange misalignments.
I sense the devil at work here.
If he really was involved, then this was truly a miracle like no other. One more astounding than perhaps even the Holy Mother's apparitions. Behold, I send my messenger before thy face.
which shall prepare thy way before thee. Let us believe that this was the Lord granting us forgiveness for straying from the fate line.
I'm so sorry. I'm to blame for your suffering. For your lives ending twice over.
I lost Francisco in 1919 and Jacinta in 1920. And then, after a long dream, I lost them again. And the manner of their deaths felt so horribly wrong. If I hadn't pushed them so hard when we heard Lady Mary's prophecies, things wouldn't have turned out this way. And the people of the anti-fate faction as well. They sacrificed their lives so I could escape the Vatican.
Still, I want to save the world.
Though I couldn't stand to bring pain to the people around me, I still longed to fulfill the prophecy. That was why
I mustn't rely on anyone anymore. I have to do this myself.
Two weeks had passed since I was doxxed. Symphony's had become my new home, and it was actually pretty comfortable once I got myself a toothbrush and a pillow and stuff. I was worried about bathing and laundry, but I kind of enjoyed visiting bathhouses and laundromats for the first time. I'd been living on restaurant and convenience store food anyway, so it was barely a downgrade. I was just about to grab breakfast, actually.
Payment unsuccessful. Please check your balance and try again.
Someone was stuck at the auto checkout by the exit. This was a completely unmanned convenience store without a single employee. If some kind of bystander didn't help, this would continue forever. It was probably some senior citizen who didn't know much about electronic money or digital assets.
Why isn't it working?
Wait, you?
Holy! You're my prince, right? Did you come to save me in my time of need?
I just came to get some breakfast. What's the problem with the payment?
There's a Ferris Go error. It says it can't get the data from the server.
So, she had her Ferris Go linked to Peaked OS, huh? It was standard these days to store your personal info on the BMI-based Peaked OS servers and then link it to all kinds of apps. Ferris Go got popular because registered personal info with every app was a hassle. Any problem with the server would be a major issue, though. If the server so much as got hacked, all the linked services would be impacted. That was why I registered my personal data with each service separately. It looked like Nono was with the normies on this, though. Well, I couldn't blame her. This was the default setting, so I guess she just rolled with it. Unlinking wasn't exactly simple either.
I'll fix it, so do as I tell you.
I took her to the edge of the store and explained what to do.
I'm registered!
You should be able to pay now. Try it.
Holding a can of cocoa, she slowly approached the exit. This time the payment went through just fine, and Nono strutted right out of there. I grabbed the milk donut I wanted and joined her outside.
That was my first ever error. It was scary.
It was probably just a connection error or something.
Peaked OS was a browser OS that tons of devices used. Its worldwide share was over 90%. It had servers all over the world, and they were well maintained, so the issue must have been pretty minor.
I'll tell my friends at school how to do it too.
Oh? Do you go to school in Nakano? Maybe you go to the same one I did. I went to Ozono Dining.
I go to Hota.
Hota? Never heard of it.
Hotaru Gaoka Elementary. It's in Kagurazuka. I take online classes though, so I'm basically never there.
Whoa, it's private.
So I guess Nono was a high-class little lady.
I heard you live at Oz's place. Are your parents in the countryside or something? Can't you just take online classes from there?
Mommy and Daddy died in the sad morning.
So you're a victim too, huh?
She was just like me. Well, maybe not exactly like me. I wasn't too broken up about losing my dad.
Oz was Mommy's and Daddy's friend, so he took me in.
Nono's smile was tinged with sadness. She looked down at the can of cocoa she was holding. It came with a plastic case at the top with pow 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 written on it.
Time to open it
Nono energetically removed the case to look inside at the bonus gift.
It's not Palpa.
Hold on a sec. I'll get it for you. We don't need it now.
I rushed off to the convenience store and bought another can, then handed it to Nono so she could open it.
Don't just bring it up like that.
There was a tanuki-like figurine inside.
Is that the wrong one?
Yeah. Sorry. I only want Palpa.
Oh, Anon, you want to get Nono her pow-pow? Oh, you got a kind side, huh? I can't argue with that. Sure, let's go back and make her happy.
It's not Palpa.
Hold on a sec. I'll get it for you.
I rushed off to the convenience store and bought another can. This time I picked the one next to the one I'd taken last time. It wasn't Pow Pow this time either.
Again. How about this can?
No, it's not Palpa.
One more try.
I continued loading until I got Pow Pow. I had no idea it was going to be this. It was going to be this rare.
Here, open it.
How come you're so tired?
Just open it.
Barely able to stand anymore, I watched Nono open it.
Palpa! It's Palpa! Holy, I got my Palpa!
Finally.
I let out a sigh and sat down right next to where I stood. Oh, I'll say, how many pages do I have? Okay, we'll stop it there. This is audap. You've been watching Anonymous Code running on Nintendo Switch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.